Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Four rules of learning. Number one, learn the foundations well. Number two, practice well. Number three, admit your mistakes without hesitation. Keep on correcting and reducing your mistakes. Number four, don't get discouraged no matter what. Keep moving forward. Tajweed rules cheat sheet. Number one, the sound of Fatah is A and it is at the top of a letter. The sound of Kasra is E and it is at the bottom of a letter. The sound of Dhamma is U and it is also at the top of a letter. The sound of standing Fatah is also A, but it is stretched for 1 second. The sound of standing Kasra is E with 1 second of stretching. The sound of reverse Dhamma is U with 1 second of stretching. The sound of double Fatah is An. The sound of double Kasra is In. The sound of double Dhamma is Un. Number 4, Sukoon. If a letter has a sukoon on it, then we have to connect it with the letter behind it. If there is sukoon on Hamza, then we have to make the sound jerky while connecting it with the letter behind it. Number 5, Qalqala. Qalqala letters are Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim and Dal. If there is sukoon on any of these letters, then we have to produce the A or A sound while connecting them with the letter behind. For Qaf and Ta is the A sound, while for Ba, Jim and Dal is the A sound. Number 6, Waw Leen. If any letter has Fatah on it and next to it is Waw with sukoon, then we don't stretch the final sound. Waw Madda. If any letter has Dhamma on it and next to it is Waw with sukoon, then we have to stretch the final sound for 1 second. Waw Madda and reverse Dhamma create the same sound. Yailin. If any letter has Fatah on it and next to it is Ya with sukoon, then we don't stretch the final sound. Yai Madda. If any letter has Kasra below it and next to it is Ya with sukoon, then we stretch the final sound for 1 second. Yai Madda and standing Kasra create the same sound. Alif Madda. If any letter has Fatah on it and next to it is an Alif without any sign, then we stretch the final sound. Alif Madda and standing Fatah create the same sound. Ikhfa. The throat letters are Hamza, Ha, Ain, Ha, Ghain, Kha. Version 1. If Noon has a sukoon on it and next to it is a letter which is not from the throat letters group, then we apply Ikhfa on Noon. The 3 rules of Ikhfa are: read the sound of Noon in your nose, stretch the sound for 1 second, do not touch your tongue anywhere while applying Ikhfa. Version 2. If any letter has double Fatah, double Kasra or double Dhamma on it and next to it is a letter which doesn't belong to the throat letters, then we have to apply Ikhfa. The 3 rules of Ikhfa are: read the sound of Noon in your nose, stretch the sound for 1 second, do not touch your tongue anywhere while applying Ikhfa. Idgham Version 1. If Noon has a sukoon on it and next to it is either Waw or Ya, then we have to mix up the sounds of the letter before Noon, the Noon itself and the letter next to it as well, and read this mixture in our nose. Make sure that the tongue does not touch anywhere while reading it. Also stretch the final sound for 1 second. For example, وَمَن يَقُولُ. Version 2. If any letter has double Fatah, double Kasra or double Dhamma on it and next to it is either Waw or Ya, then we have to connect that letter with waw or ya and mix up the sounds of the letter with double fatha, double kasra or double dhamma with waw or ya, and then read the mixture in our nose, being careful not to touch our tongue anywhere while producing the un, in or un sound respectively. Also stretch the final sound for 1 second. Tashdeed. If any letter has tashdeed on it, then we connect that letter with the letter behind it. We press that letter for half a second. We read the second sign of that letter besides tashdeed. Gunna. If noon or meme have tashdeed on any of them, then we apply gunna by pressing the sound for 1 second instead of half a second. In the gunna of noon, we press the tongue to the roof for 1 second. In the gunna of meme, we keep our lips closed and pressed for 1 second. Iqlab. Whenever there is sukoon on meme and next to it is ba, then we apply gunna on meme. The small meme. When there is a small meme above noon with sukoon, we skip the noon and connect the letter before noon with the small meme, applying gunna on the meme. The shape of the small meme is different from the small meme of obligatory stop. Stopping on double fatha. If the last letter of a word has a double fatha on it and we are stopping, then we have to remove one fatha and stretch that letter with the remaining single fatha for 1 second. Stopping on round ta. If we are stopping on a word which ends with a round ta, then the round ta will turn into round ha, and whatever sign it has will turn into sukoon. Even the double fatha turns into sukoon when we stop on round ta. Stopping on standing signs. The standing signs do not change whether we read the word in regular mode or stopping mode. Round ta is just an exception. Stopping on madda letters. If a word ends with alif madda, waw madda or ya madda, then nothing changes whether we continue reading or stop. The length of the final sound will remain 1 second. Stopping on lean letters. Although in waw lean and ya lean we don't stretch the sound, but if we are stopping on a word which has either waw lean or ya lean in the last or second last position, then we have the option to stretch the final sound in order to beautify the recitation. However, in regular mode, we must not stretch the sounds of waw lean and ya lean. Stopping on gunna. We have to press the sound for 1 second whether we apply gunna in regular mode or in stopping mode. Gunna is always applied whenever a noon or a meme has a tashdeed on it, regardless of the reading mode. Signs of stopping. Whenever there is small lam alif on a word, we must not stop and continue reading. Whenever there is a small meme above a word, we must stop there on all costs, otherwise we will be sinful. On other signs like the small ta, small jim, small za, we have the option whether to stop or continue. I prefer stopping. Big mud and the small mud. Whenever a letter has a small mud, we stretch that letter for 2 seconds, while on big mud we have to stretch it for 4 seconds. The big and the small muds don't have a sound of their own. Their only purpose is to increase the length of a letter.